Boxing isn't just about throwing punches. It's about reading your opponent. It's chess. You're thinking about what your opponent's doing, and then you're countering. You're leading, they're countering. Boxing is chess. Now, one way that can keep you ahead of your opponent is by having predictive boxing skills, which are going to help you anticipate what their next move is going to be. So I'm going to discuss how you can develop your predictive boxing skills, what your predictive boxing skills actually are. Let's dive in. So here's the thing. Boxing is all about patterns. For example, I'm in front of my opponent and I throw a jab cross. I throw a 1-2 to my opponent. They're going to naturally do whatever defensive moves they want to do. So they're going to defend these punches. What are they most likely going to throw after I throw the 1-2? They're most likely going to throw a hook. So I've got to train myself. Whether I'm shadowboxing, 1-2 I might roll, 1-2 I might catch. Because they're going to try to come over my rear hand and hit me with a hook. Boxing combinations and stances fit together like pieces of a puzzle. The offense and defense are interconnected, flowing seamlessly into one another. For example, if I throw a jab and my opponent slips it, they're now in position to counter with a cross because their weight is shifted to the opposite side. When that cross comes, I can roll under it. After rolling, I'm in position to throw a hook, and they can roll under my hook in response. This mix and match dynamic is built on the principle of balance and weight transfer. Take Mike Tyson, for example. When defending punches, he slips and immediately counters with a precise attack. If he slips to the left, his weight shifts to allow a powerful left-handed punch. If he slips and rolls to the right, he can follow with a right-handed punch. It's all about the pendulum effect, the transfer of weight. Every movement creates an opportunity to attack and defend, blending offense and defense into a fluid rhythm of motion. So if you've drilled defense after your offense with your coach in the boxing gym, you're going to avoid this punch because I'm naturally going to throw a jab, cross, I'm going to roll and step. I'm naturally going to throw a jab, cross, I'm going to step back, long guard, naturally. So you've got to try to anticipate what your opponents will do, even when you're training, long before you've gotten into the ring.
I'm right here, shoot your jab. And so when I'm squat down, I come back and I come over his jab. Right. Because he's a softball. So, stand up. And most times we both stand up, our arms it's going to bump like this, going to block like this. Right. If I'm like this, he shoots a jab, I can come right over his jab. Or I can set up like this to come over.
You can see this concept in action in styles like the Philly shell defense or the Peekaboo stance. Each of these styles were designed to counter traditional boxing techniques effectively. For example, in the Philly shell, the stance itself sets up automatic response to the incoming punches. The shoulder roll, the subtle shifts in weights, and the guard placement all work together to defend and counter without hesitation. Similarly, the Peekaboo stance relies on constant movement and head positioning to create openings for counters, whilst protecting against traditional attack. These styles were crafted with one purpose in mind: to beat the conventional boxing approaches by blending defense and offensive movement seamlessly into one system.
Over here, if a guy shoots a jab, I can pick his jab. Right. If a guy shoots a jab, I can pick his jab. If he come around the hook, I catch the hook right here. Pick his jab right here, catch the hook right here. If he shoot the right hand, I do like this, then I roll back and come. Right. So it's more like I can roll my shoulder and come here. I can roll my shoulder and come here. I can roll my shoulder and come there. And I can pick his shots like this, either way, or I can slide under. All right. And so it seems like your face would be vulnerable, but it's not.
So, how do you train for this? Now it starts from shadowboxing, bag work, sparring, pad work, everything. So I'm shadowboxing, I'm warming up. Now when you're warming up, you're visualizing, you're throwing a jab, you're throwing a cross, you imagine a hook, you roll, you step. You're doing offense and defense. I'm touching. My opponent tries to counter me, I step back, I throw a cross. You have to make it instinctive. And the only way you can be able to do that is if you practice it when you're training. Every time you punch your opponent, there will be a potential that they're going to throw a predictable counter punch back. Like I told you, when you throw a cross, they're going to throw their hook. If you throw a jab, they could throw their cross. This is basics. This is basic boxing. So you've got to be aware of it. You might touch your jab, you might roll. You might touch your jab, you might step back. That's when you're shadowboxing. That's when you're hitting the bag. That's especially when you're on the pads with your coach. Because your coach says 1-2, you do jab cross. Now if you went to throw a hook back and you roll it, it's going to drill it into your brain even more because you're not visualizing, it's actually happening. Now there's a saying I love to use, and it's action reaction. Now sometimes I'll be in a pad work and I'll tell my boxers this round's action reaction, which means I'm going to be countering every single punch. Action reaction should be in your brain at all times. When I'm shadow boxing, it's action reaction. There's a natural flow. Oh my god, 1, 2, step back. 1, I come low. 1 cross, I might roll under the shot. You have to naturally be in your flow, and naturally when I throw a cross, I'm going to be able to consequently roll the punch. When I throw a cross, I'm going to be able to naturally consequently slip the punch. Because everything in boxing, again, is a pattern. Left, right, left, right. If I throw any left-handed punch, I'm going to be able to do a defensive move towards my left. Look, if I throw a jab, I'm going to be able to slip. And it's the opposite for the right hand side. If I throw any right hand punch, I throw an uppercut from my right hand, I'm going to be able to roll to my right. Because it's a transfer. If I'm throwing an uppercut, I can't roll to my left because my weight is already on my left. We're going to just trip over. So the more you drill it, you're going to recognize and you're going to really understand which move should be used at which point. You're going to kind of instinctively, you're not going to think about it. You get beginners sometimes and they throw across and then they try to do a defensive move towards the left and they go off balance and they fall over because they haven't drilled it enough to know what move should be made without even thinking. So here's the training drill that you can use to cement this into your brain and make it autonomous. I'm going to face my bag. I'm going to throw a jab. Cross. Now it's likely my opponent before a hook, so I roll. After a hook, they're going to throw a cross, so I slip. Now it's time for my counter. I'm going to counter the counter with a hook, cross. So when you're in front of the bag, it'll be 1, 2, roll, slip, hook, cross. And if you want to make it even more realistic, you can use a bag that swings a bit more. Using a bag that swings makes it more realistic because an opponent's not going to stand still. So if I throw a jab, cross, the bag moves, I roll under it. Then when the bag moves again, I slip it, then I throw my hook cross. It's also very important for you to realize it's not just about your hands, it's about your foot positioning. Probably more importantly than it is even in your hands. Because as I said earlier, from certain positions, if that your feet are in, you'll be unable to throw certain punches. So you need to make sure your feet and your hand are moving in sync. I throw a cross, now the weight to my front leg, and I can throw a hook. You need to practice moving your whole body together rather than just focusing on your hands. Predictive boxing is the essence of ring IQ. Take Floyd Mayweather, for example, utilizing the Philly shell. Predictive boxing demonstrates why the Philly shell is so effective, and this is precisely why fighters like Floyd Mayweather, Canelo Alvarez, and Mike Tyson have managed to stand out from their competition. Let's break down Mayweather's approach. In the Philly shell, Mayweather adopts a completely side-on stance towards his opponent, with his feet aligned to the line of attack. From this position, he is already reading his opponent's potential moves. For instance, if his opponent throws a cross, he knows their weight will shift to their lead leg, often signaling a follow-up hook. Anticipating this sequence, Mayweather can react accordingly. He might roll under the cross while preparing for the hook. Knowing the hook is coming, he can choose to catch it, dip beneath it, or execute a side slip. By weaving under the hook while staying defensively sound, he effectively nullifies the attack and positions himself to counter. This precise blend of anticipation, positioning, and execution showcases why predictive boxing paired with superior ring IQ makes the Philly shell so effective. It's what allows Mayweather to consistently outmaneuver even at the highest level opponents, using their predictable patterns to his advantage. Mike Tyson was mentioned earlier, so I'll keep this brief. Tyson stands partially square in his stance, adopting a low posture. This positioning allows him to slip punches more directly and more forward efficiently. Instead of relying on rotational movements, he uses lateral tilts, shifting from left to right. The Peekaboo stance was designed to enable effective counters and defense against traditional boxing styles. This approach is a key reason why Tyson achieved such emphatic knockout victories. By utilizing predictive boxing, Tyson set up his punches with precision, making him one of the most dangerous finishers of the sport. Saul Alvarez is a unique case and arguably the best example of addictive boxing in action. Unlike fighters who rely on unconventional stances, Alvarez uses a traditional boxing stance, giving him no inherent stylistic advantage over his opponents. Instead, he has refined his ring IQ and developed exceptional predictive boxing skills through intense training and strategy. Watch closely. Saul Alvarez works both vertical and horizontal defensive lines with precision. For example, when he steps off the vertical line and his opponent throws the jab, he anticipates the follow-up cross. He's already prepared to slip under the punch. While it might look flashy, as though he's reacting purely on instinct, it's not. It's all calculated and pre-planned. Here's a perfect demonstration during his training. When his coach throws a jab, Alvarez takes his head off the vertical line and counters with precision set punches. This showcases what predictive boxing is. This showcases what predictive boxing is all about: conditioning, strategy, and sharpening IQ. It's a testament to the meticulous work that goes into his preparation. So to wrap things up, boxing is a game of patterns. Now, if you know every possible pattern, it's going to help you to be able to make a decision very fast that's going to be the correct decision. Now, if your opponent throws a jab, for example, you don't want to slip inside of the jab unless you know exactly what's going to come next, because it's going to be very likely your opponent's going to throw a cross. And if you slipped inside of the jab, the cross is going to hit you dead in the face. So the more you practice and you understand all of these big range of patterns, it's going to be like a big web, and you're going to be the master of that web. You're going to know when to use what move is going to work best, and you're going to be able to control your opponent when you're boxing. So boxing is a game of patterns. You've got to master and understand every pattern. You have to make it autonomous for yourself to react when put in said situations. If you want to learn real boxing, if you want to learn predictive boxing like we discussed in this video, then search out Regal Boxing on Instagram, give me a DM, and then we'll get things cracking.